This is a follow. This is a follow-up to my other video where I shared with you the different names of all all the same God of Abraham, all the same God of Ishmael, all the same God of Isaac, all the same God of Moses, all the same God, all the same God of all the tribes of the Hebrews. And there was not just 12 tribes; there was half tribes. Moses' sons, Gershom, the rest of them, that had an inheritance. The mixes between Joseph and the Egyptians. All the Hebrews, almost all of them in the scriptures, have Ethiopian, black Egyptian looking wives. And the Hebrews themselves were bit different complexions, anywhere from chalk white to onyx black, and every shade that is in between, as it is spoken of in the book of Enoch, and is given witness to God and the diversities that exist among various different creatures, including humans. You've got different colors, sheep, different pigments, but that is the illustration that I used to explain this. Now, I wanted to talk about Muhammad because I didn't get a chance to mention Muhammad in the last video, and I should have. Muhammad is the one that they claim to be the founder of Islam. Well, first I'll tell you that, who do you think is greater? Do you think Muhammad is greater, or do you think Abraham is greater? Do you think Muhammad is greater, or do you think Ishmael is greater? And that is what I asked to the Arabs. Now I will say that, Abraham was great. God spoke to Abraham. God guided Abraham. God has blessed the two sons of Abraham. Ishmael, the firstborn, and Isaac, the second firstborn. So what I want to explain in this is that Abraham was not a Muslim. There's a lot of fighting going on over in the Middle East, and a lot of it is based on different dialects that exist within the same type of peoples. There's problems there based on a lot of people that are trying to steal resources, put in puppet kings in the Middle East, so that various different people from other lands may have a share in the great riches that exist in the Middle East, including Israel, all the Arabs everywhere from south to north to east and west, the whole quadrant. That is the Negev desert, Negev, however you want to pronounce the desert there. It's a quadrant that extends all the way out into the eastern vortex that's right off the shore of Yemen, right there, that comes all the way back over to North and South Sinai, including the great caverns and crystalline chambers, including the two abysses that are beneath the Euphrates, the two peninsulas. So it extends all the way west as well to the other bodies of water, all the way down to the footsteps and the southlands of what I call to be the rebel, the sons of Solomon and the sons of Daniel. The black Hebrews that are down there. So they're all down there, and all the way up, I'll explain to you that there's one God for every human being, no matter if they claim to be a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, of Judaism. All is the God of you all, and that is how you will be judged by all. There is some confusions that have been put in by religions. There among the different types of Muslims that they are fighting each other over into the Middle East, because in the Middle East there is many different denominations of people observing different types of Islam. That it's not as many as here in the United States, and Christians have many different denominations, and a lot of them do not agree with one another. For instance, Baptists don't believe the way Catholics believe. Catholics don't believe the way that Messianic Jews believe. And so religion is not enough to hold God and to give God the honor that God deserves. At the center point and cornerstone of all three religions, Moses and the morals, a simple group of moral laws given to Moses is the it's the whole foundation of all the three religions. And the other stuff has been added as law unto law, and God is not happy with this. All is the one God who has no equal, not even the Messiah spoken of by the Hebrews and came to be the Messiah. Even he is not the equal of all the God. And so there's a problem for the Muslim to be able to accept the version of westernized Jesus. And so the problem with it is another culture had taken kind of latched onto a group of people that were enslaved in their midst and made their deities blend with the Hebrew deities, and all does not like it. All hates it. All does not want to share all's throne with any other God at all. All is the only one God, and soon all will show that this is the truth. I spoke about guardians for the Arabs and guardians for the Hebrews. There will be those. God is getting ready to, and is in the making of choosing groups of people from among different peoples. Hebrews, 144,000. Arabs, I'm not sure what the number will be, but it will be a great number of Arabs that are saved and protected in this cataclysm that is getting ready to come. Europe, Russia, Germany, America, Australia. Did I miss anything? North Pole, South Pole, Canada, South America. Every territory, every kingdom, China, Japan, all that, the islands. God is going to speak to many of these peoples and warn them about the cataclysm and what they need to do and where they need to go on how to survive it. Because without God and the protection of these angels that are going to leave a remnant alive among different groups of peoples, there would not be any survivors. What is getting ready to happen. And I am speaking of an energy surge on this earth that will claim the lives of many people. The vortexes of old will be awakened. The vortex that exists below Mount Sinai and Mount Pisgah and the other vortexes that are out on the outside east. The east, what I call a quadrant, it's a box. On the east quadrant, the eastern quadrant, Yemen, stretching out into the ocean, is a powerful vortex. And so there's going to be a great earthquake over there. I'm warning you all now. The earthquakes will increase as the sun continues to explode in storms, and the vortexes will awaken. If you are anywhere near those vortexes, it will not be good for you. Only God will be able to save you, because the frequency and the power of the resonance is so to the point that it will cause possibly billions of people, 1 billion people, to die of heart attacks, seizures, blood coming from the eyes, nose, and ears. This is what I've seen in my vision. So this is my warning to you about it. The vortexes stretch across the whole globe. They're under the ocean, the Bermuda Triangle, the Atlantic, out into the east, the eastern oriental east, the Dragon's Triangle. There are other vortexes that exist in various different places, including the North and South Pole and some other places. So I've seen this vision of it. I have felt this vision of it. I have seen, once again, I believe to have made contact with the what I call the moon angel. And I'm not talking about the sorcery that exists between the jinns and the other different sorcerers that exist in the Middle East and the conjuring. God has given a specific angel power over the moon. And so that is why if anybody goes there, he comes out and destroys them. And that's what, or drives them mad. And that's what happens. So that's why no one's going back to the moon, because he is a great and mighty guardian, and he cannot be, whatever God gives him power over is his, and he does not want to be messed around with. So I've seen this deity. I've seen this deity when I was 16 years old. I had an interaction with this deity, and I didn't know what it was. I was afraid of it then. This power is coming back into my life again, as I have embraced the language of the East, the three languages: the Negev Old language, the Arabic script, and the modern day Hebrew, the three languages. And so I'm telling you that God is getting ready to turn the fury of God at Islam and at Christianity and at Judaism. God hates these three religions because Abraham was none of these. The laws that are to be followed are the laws of Moses. Muhammad was great. Muhammad was a prophet. But the difference is, at the heart of Muhammad is Abraham, because Abraham is his descendant and his great father. The great father of all of you, the Arabs, the great father of the Hebrews, and all of us that have been grafted or have descended from the great nomads know all is God. So that is what I declare to you today, to tell you the truth. I'm not perfect. I don't desire to be any type of king. I don't desire to be any type of leader over any type of material kingdom. But I will tell you that God has given the Middle East and the territory of it that is given to Ishmael to him. And no one will take it. No one will be able to defeat the moon angel who guards over Ishmael and the rest of the guardians that will stand up for Ishmael. And the descendants, the Arab, the land belongs to him. Also, Isaac, the modern day Hebrews. The modern day Hebrews are scattered all the way from the land of Assyria in the old north, all the way down as the quadrant that I speak of, all the way down to the west as far as you can go to the water, to the east as far as you can go to the water, to the south as far as you can go down into Ethiopia, into the two corners at the bottom, where they're the descendants that represent what is known in the some of the Native Americans who have prophesied in the old prophecies about a black serpent. And so it is the white serpent, the descendants of Dan who went many places. They went to the north, into the east and the south, and into the south they went far down into there. And also Solomon and his firstborn, along with the great high priest's sons, were banished down to there. And they took the ark, and it's been there, and it'll stay there until all the God comes to ask it back from the black sons of Solomon and Dan that lived down into the lower parts of Africa, and have been to this day to God to call them to arms, to come and stand, and to explain that the Middle East belongs to Arabs and Hebrews, and not foreigners or foreign occupation or people who come in there and try to make it look like they put the puppet kings in there to help while they all split up the resources that belongs to the Ishmaelites and to the Hebrews. So they will begin to do this. I've seen this in a vision, and it is something that will happen. God does not plan to establish 1947 Israel as God's state. God's state is the box, the four corners that extend all the way up above Syria, all the way down, even further up into Turkey, all the way down into the Black Lands and the two sides. There God will call from many the 144,000 descendants of Abraham, and also out into the many lands, including all the lands that you know of, in case God should find any descendants scattered as far as the four corners. So God will soon do these things. All is the God. Remember that I have told this to you. I myself am not of Islam, of Christianity, nor am I of Judaism. But there is no religion, because God is a reality, all the reality that is real. Many great signs will soon be shown in the Middle East that are far more powerful than the one small meteor that has hit there first. So begin to turn to all the God of Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac. One all for the three. One all for Moses and all the tribes, half tribes, quarter tribes, octant tribes, and all the 12 tribes with quickness, because these things are happening. Something is going to happen with the sun. I have seen there will be mass explosions that send the vortexes, as I've spoken in this video, into a very, very powerful surge. So begin to turn now to all the God and see yourselves as cousins and brethren between the Ishmaelite and the Hebrew, because you must be together. It is not good to continue to fight based on religions, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, that split up the states and divided the people of God. So it is the commandment of God that you begin to have the same alliances that existed in the 1600s, to prepare yourself to rid yourself of the invaders, all of the puppet kings, and all the wickedness that has spread itself in the Middle East. This is what all God has desired. And so God is the one who is telling it to you, not me. You can believe it, no matter what they show you all my wrongs have been in the past, because God is the forgiving God and knows why the people here in America, a lot of them have been harmed as children because of the wickedness that exists here. So God can see what has happened here in this place and everywhere else. I'll leave you with this blessing. All the God, Za'al, Za, that, God, the Word, God, the Word, the Word, God, God, the Word. Za'al, Za. And so Za'al, Zallah. And so God is good. Zaza Ta'al means the Word with God. That was the real Messiah. The Messiah that looked like Arabs and Hebrews. And not this lie that has been taught throughout the world in various different religions and accepted as wickedness. So God will establish God, and the Messiah will be a warrior and not a man of peace, but is coming to destroy. And so is all coming to destroy for one day when they begin, so that the world may have less evil people living on it. And so it will not be the acts of terrorism. In this I speak to the Taliban. You are trying to fight and be the freedom fighters that existed back in the 1980s. And so God sees the freedom fighters and all the rebels in the Middle East and understands what their true intention and heart is. I have said it before. The Arabs, the Hebrews, are the ones who have the right to the Middle East, not Egypt and not Rome. So they will lose the same way they have before. Israel, the 1948 state, will be surrounded by their brethren from the four sides, and they will have to understand that God is raising up from the north and south and east and west the power of the God, the one God of Abraham. Now, I'll show you this again. You see this? Look at it closely. This is my message to you. And my message is, follow God, not a man. This is God's writing, not my own. So, remember that is your land. The native, the Arab, the Bedouin, all the rest of you that are scattered up into Assyria and Turkey, and out to the east and to the west, in the places, the Caucasus, where the white Dan went to become white. You in Russia, remember that, and all the rest of you, because the glorious land belongs to the people of God, and the people of God are all over the place, in the quadrant that is known as the quadrant of all. And all will soon speak about what will happen there with these things that are about to take place over a series of time, from this time on into our future. So just be watchful and ready, and understand that God is not, concerned with earthly, the kingdoms the way they are set up now, to give resources to people that don't have any claim to them. And so God will be the one who wins the war, as in the past with your forefathers. God gave the land and the power to the alliance that existed in the 1600s between the Hebrews and the Arabs. And so God is moving at the Spirit to do this again. And, terrorism cannot win the Middle East, cannot give it to the Arab or the Hebrew. But God will give the land to the Hebrew and to the Arabs, because that is who it belongs to. And that is the one who shall rule over the territories of it, because they are the ones who God plans to give it to, and who shall keep it, no one else. That's my message for you. I will see you again.